Hey everybody, David the AI Guide here. Welcome, and please follow us also on LinkedIn and Twitter. And if you stay to the end, there'll be a link at the end of the video for a free resource that we have now to help you learn more about AI and what it means for the future. So today's topic is a specific company, which we don't do a lot. Usually we talk about general ideas and companies within the context of those specific applications of AI. But today we're going to talk about a specific company. And this company is called Affectiva, and it's one of the leaders in computer vision AI. They use a little bit of different term for it. Internally, they call it human perception AI, but they're definitely one of the leaders. How do we know that? Well, they recently got issued 6 new patents, which brings their total patents to 39, and they have 25 more pending. So these people are serious. Hopefully, I'll be able to interview them in the near future and get their take on where they're headed and what they see impacting humans with their human perception AI, because what we focus on here is how all of these technologies impact human beings for better and for worse. We don't just give news here. We focus on what is the impact on you and me of all of these technologies. And these 6 patents are in the automotive area. And what this is using a camera system inside the car to monitor the emotional state and physical state of the occupants of the car. Now, why would you do this? Well, that's a great question, and the answer is safety. So the most obvious application of these technologies is to make sure someone isn't falling asleep at the wheel or hasn't already fallen asleep at the wheel. And also, it can be used in a positive way to deliver transportation entertainment while you're on the road that's perfectly suited to the mood you're in. So this is very interesting stuff, and it also directly relates to the last video we just posted about privacy and privacy concerns. So I'd appreciate it if you'd all leave a comment after this video on whether you would allow this or not in your car. These people installing their system in the car you bought, and they get all the images and all the data because they're using their AI to process it. So how do you feel about Affectiva watching you all the time you're in the car? This technology, like I said, can be used for good, for safety. Now, clearly, one of the huge arguments for self-driving vehicles is safety, right? And one of the things that Affectiva refers to is a study by this Royal Society in Britain that I can't remember the name of, but these people did a survey of all traffic accidents over 10 years and determined that 95% of traffic accidents are caused by people making mistakes. And the big argument in favor of self-driving vehicles is it will eliminate that. Now, computer vision is not quite at the point yet, and neither are the algorithms where self-driving vehicles have no problems. But we talked in a recent video about how Germany has now approved and allows level 4 autonomous driving in Germany, which means that there's cars with a driver with all the regular controls in the car sitting there, but they are not touching the wheel or doing anything at all. The car is doing 100% of everything. And level 4 means that the human being only intervenes if there's a problem. And with that allowed, it's going to rack up algorithm knowledge very, very, very quickly that will lead to level 5. So level 5 autonomy for private passenger vehicles and trucks is on the near horizon. We're talking the middle of this decade, 2025-ish. And if you can eliminate the 40,000 plus people that here in the United States alone, the number is much, much larger globally, like 500,000 people a year get killed in traffic accidents. If you eliminate that, that's a major breakthrough. And this company, Affectiva, is using these technologies not for outside the vehicle, but for inside. So in the interim, before we get to full self-driving, it sure helps to prevent people from falling asleep in vehicles. And the perfect environment for this technology that could very well end up being mandated by regulation is tractor trailers, right? Because these guys, men and women, work very long hours, although those hours have been curbed by new rules in the last few years, but they still work long hours. They're on long trips often, and in certain areas that can be very monotonous because the terrain is flat, level, not interesting, and it's easy to fall asleep at the wheel in that kind of environment. And when you think about the momentum of an 80,000-pound vehicle, that's significant. So it'll be interesting to see if they roll this out quickly to trucks and that they pitch the federal government, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, to be specific, to mandate this technology for commercial trucks, which wouldn't be a bad idea because as a commercial truck driver, you don't have the same right to privacy that you do in a private passenger vehicle for the simple reason that you're at work. You're at work. You don't have that right to privacy. So this technology, let's break down a little bit of what it can do. Again, if you're falling asleep or are asleep, it can see that. It can also determine your mood, like if you're in heavy traffic and your mood starts to deteriorate, like mine has, big time. I mean, yelling at people doing crazy stuff in the cars. This system will pick up on that and introduce infotainment to calm you down. That's a good thing to reduce stress levels in vehicles, probably a major cause of accidents. So that's good. Or just to optimize it, to help you focus, to help you relax and stay calm, to help you concentrate. This could actually, by itself, reduce accidents, ignoring the falling asleep, because your mood or state can cause an accident if your mood or state is not in the right place at the time. And finally, one of these patents is for infrared cameras, which means that it can do all these observations and analyze it with the algorithm at night and in tunnels and places where it's dark, parking garages, things like that. So it's very interesting. This company is going very, very deep into evaluating the emotional states of human beings using AI. And we talked about that on a previous video called Emotion AI, which is what Affectiva calls it. But we've talked on a few videos about this. One, we said that an AI algorithm can now predict with incredible accuracy what each individual person finds attractive in either the opposite sex or the same sex, depending on how you are on that. But this is very interesting technology where psychological states may get to the point where they are examined in public frequently. What can that do? Prevent mass shootings here in the world capital of mass shootings. Because let's say you have this technology at the entrance to public places, it'll immediately pick up on a shooter's unfortunate state and hopefully notify someone before the person goes active on their shooting rampage. This would be incredibly beneficial for the public here in the United States, where we still live in the old Wild West. This technology can be used for many, many different things. Affectiva has not proposed that I've read using the technology for what I just said, but it's certainly one area where it makes a lot of sense given the direction they're going. So this is very interesting stuff, has many potential very positive uses, but also raises serious privacy concerns like we talked about last video and now this video. And all this stuff needs to be evaluated, and we need a government that is proactive in managing how these technologies are used, what uses are appropriate, what uses are not appropriate, and what limitations will be placed on them. That does not seem to be the general nature of government in the United States. It's more so other places. But this country specifically is going to have to become very proactive in this area if it wants to preserve the freedoms enshrined in our Constitution. So there's a little bit of opinion there, but it just makes common sense that these technologies need rules and regulations. So thanks for watching. Very interesting company, Affectiva. Look them up. They've got a great website. They'll show you a lot about what they're doing. They obviously have some severe brainiacs over there, creating a lot of patented material. Good for them. So here's the link. Click the link below to get a free resource to learn much more about AI, and we'll talk to you next time. Take care. Thank you. Bye.